Pasha, good morning or good afternoon in Moscow.
Good morning, Anya. Yes, it's 5:30 p.m. now. It's
Great.
getting dark.
Yes, well,
Yeah,
it's morning
it's
9:30 a.m. in New York City. Uh,
Anya.
yeah.
Thank you very much for this conversation again. I was thinking about you during these New Year's holidays, during
Mm-hmm.
these two weeks,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
and I'm looking forward to talk with you and to share with you some ideas to hear from you as well, from your
mhm.
Brazilian holidays as well.
It was absolutely the most unique experience of my entire life. It's great to be back to New York, though, because when you go away from your normal routine, it is always the experience. It's always your day is very different. It's exciting. You see a lot, you do a lot, but I was missing my routine as well because it's. A lot of things that you experience in a new place are very, very different. And you have to adjust to the different country and culture. It's really exciting. But then you come back and you have to kind of reset your routine again, write the new goals. And no, I'll tell you more. And I was thinking about the question for you, and there's something I really want to ask you. Since it was the new year, beginning of new personal year for you probably, and what did you do? Did you spend some time writing your goals? What expectations of the new year? Do you do that?
Yes,
When
I
because I know it's a big celebration with lots of food and drinks and fun. But what did you do this December
I
31st, January
that
1st?
was very abundant 2 weeks for me.
Mm-hmm.
I went in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
It's close to St. Petersburg in Finland, called Petrozavodsk,
Great.
and I went there with my girlfriend, and we
Mm-hmm.
had very abundant, prosperous time.
Mm-hmm.
I've how can I say in English? I've got acquainted. Anya, how can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Я познакомил с
I
uh,
met.
yeah, I've met, я познакомил девушку с мамой, с братом, вот как.
Oh, yes, I introduced my girlfriend to my
Yes,
brother, my family, my mother. Mm-hmm.
yes, Anya, thank
Mm-hmm.
you very much.
Great,
Yes, and
yeah.
we went skiing, we went
Mm-hmm.
to theater, we went to some different events, and
It's
it was
awesome.
very unusual. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like all the all the time. It wasn't. You see, I'm
Mm-hmm.
forgetting some words.
Yeah, well, it's a good start
I didn't. I didn't
to
drink, but
refresh your English skills.
yes, yes.
That's
But
how you do, like, that's
it
getting
was
out of
very
a little bit of
nice.
your comfort zone.
Yeah,
Yes?
yes. It was. And when we came back to Moscow, we had very nice time
Mm-hmm.
over here as well. So it's very nice. Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
writing down some goals, and I did this ritual today as well
Uh-huh.
to show you, Anya.
Okay.
And I did it maybe fourth time this
Mm-hmm.
year because I was writing all goals, all wishes I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to achieve. Uh, to
That
achieve this
is
year, and
incredible.
it's very powerful
Wow.
process when you focusing your thoughts, your ideas, what you're going to do, and you write down on
Mm-hmm.
paper with pen in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and put some energy there, and you sometimes first impressions you don't believe, you are not clear what you want, but when
Exactly.
you sit down and just start to think,
Mm-hmm.
ideas come over, I don't know where, but
I
a
can do
lot
the
of ideas.
brainstorming. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, brainstorm for 10 minutes. I wrote down maybe 31 goals that I'm going
Aha.
to achieve this year. It's very nice, a very powerful process, and I
Mm-hmm.
always recommend this to people around.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't believe that goals work. Some people, oh, I don't know how can I set goals? What's the
Exactly. And especially write them down. which is
yes, some people say, oh, it's not important because
yeah.
their parents, their friends never had goals.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some just lazy, or they have some
Exactly.
limiting beliefs. And
Yeah.
that's limiting factors
Mm-hmm.
stop them from writing goals, from having goals. And when some people ask me, oh, how can I motivate myself? How
Mm-hmm.
can I do something? And I ask some questions, and we realize together that they don't have goals.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have goals, you have
Don't
more
have
energy.
results.
You want to do more, and it's very nice process.
Mm-hmm.
Anya, what about you?
Oh, that was so interesting because for me, before I start writing goals or anything, I look back in the previous year and remember and ask myself the question: if I could go back a year ago, January 1st, 2015, would I do anything different if I knew that? Because I noticed, especially if you live in a big city, time flies so quickly, like so fast. And before you know, it's the end of the year. Like, it's already almost the middle of January, and soon will be summer, and soon we'll be talking with you about the
That's right.
2017. But it's really important to know what could I do better because like my year was exciting, was great, but it was not exactly the way the results were wonderful, but not all of them were exactly the way that I saw them, that I wanted them to happen. So it's important to write down to be grateful for the all wonderful, amazing things that happened, and to know what you would do better. And then after that, I was like brainstorming for the new year, and I was writing both with my pen and the paper, and also with the on my computer on the, like iPad, because I realized I need so much more space. It was just so convenient. I was typing faster because once you are in a state of flow, then it's it's impossible to stop. You're just writing down. You're all in the process. And it happened in December 31st in a very nice hotel. It's actually one of the best hotels in Rio de Janeiro, right into Copacabana Beach. And I wanted to spend some time just with myself. So I went to the hotel lobby, to the bar, and I got some coffee in the bar. And since it was about 6 p.m., everybody already started celebration. And you know, in Brazilian tradition, you're supposed to wear white, so lots of people were dressed with like parties, big dresses. All gentlemen were wearing like tuxedos or white suits. It was a music, and I was just there absorbed with my like writing, with this creative process. And even the people around, the atmosphere, it even helped a little bit. And it was just so amazing to be like so different, and to see that I don't really need it's so much more fun for me to concentrate on my own life instead of just having champagne start early. And I was sitting there and writing till the very last moment, until I absolutely had to go back to the room because the champagne was waiting, and we ordered some very delicious like small food. It was a fresh fish to have it with, because we didn't want to have a very big dinner on the New Year night, because it's either night. It doesn't have to be New Year, but you don't want to wake up next morning with like a food hangover. And then we had the toast of champagne, and then the fireworks started. And we had such an amazing view right from the window of the hotel, like seeing like everything. And they were,
Yeah,
can you believe?
I saw that video, Anya. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's just
Beautiful.
one of many. And there were almost 3 million people there, like 3 million people from, and Brazil is going to have Summer Olympics, so they especially wanted to make it extra special, extra big, and super important. It was amazing experience with so much energy. And I know, I mean, the best thing that happened is that I didn't have enough time for everything, to write everything, and it's a good feeling, I thought, because if you want to do more, then you will find time. And it's very inspiring, and you celebrate and you enjoy when the moment of celebration like this, you enjoy it so much more when you are prepared for it, when you actually have every day of your life like a new year. Every day is great and special, and you don't have to wait for the holiday to feel wonderful. You can just do every day. And of course, like every day is like, do you have good days and bad days? So it will be like, I remember also like returning you the question. So when you write your goals, do you well, are you preparing for do you have plan B if something will not go exactly like you plan it to be? Because goals and dreams, they also mean challenge. The more exciting life and goals you plan, the more difficult it would be to achieve it. So how do you cope with, do you prepare yourself or you just do your best, and when something goes wrong, what do you do?
Most of the time, Anya, I just do my best, but I think I understand, I realize that it can be different way. Maybe I want to go straight, but it can be maybe I should do something different. I had to analyze the situation right now. What do I have right now? What the difficulties? What difficult situation can happen? What can I
the challenges
to overcome this, to achieve that goal? What can I do? What can I do? What kind of people can help me, or what kind of information do I need?
Exactly.
And it's very nice. Anya, and you started to talk about Brazil, and you spent there about 2 weeks. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I left on the Christmas day in America, which was December 25. It was another great thing that was different this year. Instead of celebrating a traditional way, you can just celebrate it up in the air by like taking an airplane to the different part of the world. That was extremely interesting to be there, and suddenly coming to summer out of winter.
Yes, it's southern hemisphere, and that was your first time, Anya. And
first time in Brazil, yes, for sure.
Think about New Year, your New Year resolutions and goals, and what was the most powerful impressions of your journey?
I think it's all the journey, all the traveling is an education. And I think the main purpose of traveling is also to learn something, how people live differently, and to implement in your life what you think is better. Because every culture, especially in Brazilian culture, is amazing. The way that they are very, very friendly, and they truly enjoy life. Although the country is not as highly developed as US or in Europe, but people seem to be very happy and content with their life. They have a great time despite of having much less. Everything that we think is a norm is a luxury, because in Brazil not even old people have enough access to the resources. Thanks to the climate, they don't need much, because they don't need like warmer clothes, or they don't need to eat sort of heavy food. There's also fruits available, but still a big part of the country is very poor. And talking to them, you would never notice that. They do not complain. They're getting the most out of it, and they're very happy. They're singing, they're dancing, they spend time with their families. And that's what I've learned. It's the balance of achieving success, having some results, but at the same time, don't pay too much price for it, because if you're very successful, but your other spheres of your life are quite miserable and you're not happy, then it's probably not worth it. Like how much money, how much recognition we need if you are not going to be happy with that. That's a lesson that I've learned.
And absolutely agree with you that every trip, every new journey is an educational experience.
Totally, yeah.
And it's great to go to different cultures, different countries, to see that people live different way, and what we have, we are so blessed. We have so much to be grateful for, and that's to change something in thinking, because some people just think, oh, I always will have that. I was born like this. But when we see different people, different cultures, we feel that we are so have much more than a lot of people in the world.
Yeah.
And it's very important to think about, to know about that, and to do something for that kind of people. What we can right now in this situation, in these cities, in this country, to help different kind of people. They have different challenges. They have different situations, and what they have there, as you said, Anya, they happy. They're grateful for what they have, and they do what they have to do.
Exactly.
Right there.
Yeah, because we do live in a very unstable world. Things change a lot, and there's no guarantee that tomorrow you will have everything that you have right now. And being able to still be happy and satisfied with your life despite of things that happen, I think that's a really big challenge that we have to learn. And and then I think it's also the traveling for me. It's not always about going to the place. It's about the person who I am, who I become when I come back, because that influences you a lot. And then it's more important what I want to do next once I am back, and I'm back to my life and routine. I have all the resources and everything that is available to me, how I'm going to use it. This is always a really important question, probably even more important.
And you mentioned that you're going to tell the story of your T-shirt. What does it mean?
Oh, this is actually their very famous film festival. It happens in Salt Lake City, and yesterday my very good friend from Russia gave this to me as a gift, and she studied in the famous Parsons Institute of Fashion Design. She's very she's great inspiration to me, and it's a great reminder that no matter where you live, what country, what part of the world, you can stay connected, and still when you meet and exchange the energy, it's all about the quality of the time that you have with the person than with the quantity. And now we're so blessed to have airplanes that fly to all parts of the world. We have a Skype, like now we can talk, and it's really incredible to stay connected, to use that. It's always very, very special to me. And it's that's the people that inspire me. I know that they not necessarily they have to live be my neighbor. They can live in so many different parts of the world. I can learn from them, and still live in a city or place that I choose to live, and do the work that I do, and still be totally connected. I think it's a great gift that we have right now, and I keep reminding myself that our parents' generation or the generation before that, they didn't have that opportunity, and now it's just incredible.
And I've been studying people who achieved a lot of successes in their life, maybe in financial, in sports, in politics, and for me, you are a symbol of that lady, of a young woman who achieved a lot of successes in life. And what I discovered, what I learned from that people that I interview, that I study biographies and autobiographies, their mindset, how they think, how they learn, how they react. And
Exactly.
Tony Robbins said that quality of our life is quality of questions you ask.
Exactly.
What kind of questions, what important questions you ask yourself, or maybe some people ask you before in your early life or a couple of years ago, and you still remember what kind of questions you ask yourself regularly or ask yourself sometimes.
Well, I think it's like you said, it's really important, and many of these questions are not always comfortable. It's challenging to ask yourself if you are really using your resources available to you in the best time, and if that is what you are doing. It's going to feel good right now, but what consequence, what results that will bring? Because I think my observation is that most people in the world, they live in the way that they always choose to receive some kind of pleasure immediately, like instant gratification, that they want things now, something that would feel good. They would choose the meal that tastes good, not necessarily will be good, has any nutritious value, or people, they would just choose to watch like soap opera on television and read something like more pleasurable than to do an actual work that will bring them the results. So it's very important to make sure that whatever I'm doing, why I'm doing it. The probably most important question is why. And it doesn't have to be the always postponing working towards some goals. I think it's also really important to set time, like we were talking in the beginning, to reflect, to just slow down and think very deeply what's next, or just how good you feel right now, how everything that you have in your life, are you completely satisfied with this? What more can you do? Because as we always talk with you, and we will agree with you that the biggest pleasure in life that you have is actually from giving, not always from receiving. And the results, the money, success, recognition, it comes as the reward. It comes naturally. When you stress out and when you want results, when you're desperate to have more money, to have more success, it never comes. Just important to just do your work and ask the questions why. What about you? And do you like slow down, and like how often it happens? Like once a month, once half a year, when you stop and ask yourself the questions, if that's the exactly the choices that I made, is that what I want to keep in your life? Do you do that? And how
Yes,
often?
it's very important part of my life to see, to think, and to do something with myself. It wasn't always like this. I try to invest more time in this process.
Yeah.
Now I understand. Oh, I would like to be with myself. You mentioned with you before, Anna, that we live in big cities and there are a lot of events. And I just met my friend an hour ago, and I said the same. Oh, 2 years ago, I just said yes to all events. I just want to meet new people, to learn from them, to do that, to go on the conference, on business event, and go.
Yeah.
But now I just want, it's my inner needs that I want to slow down. And sometimes I said, oh, thank you for an invitation, but I'm going to do my work here in my home office or something like this. And it's very important, Anna, to think and to use that kind of information. I've read 3 books during these holidays, and I understand that I should slow down and do something with this book. I can learn, I can go to conference or seminar or training, I can read 2 books, but when you don't slow down, when you don't have a time to think about this, that information can be useless. It can be nothing, because yes, you have read this book. Yeah, you attend this seminar today. You are going to attend tomorrow, and after that, it's good. But it shouldn't be like this. It should be one day learning, for example, or attending some event.
Yeah.
Second day, think to digest this information.
Exactly.
You cannot eat. It's not. It can be go again, because you are not for that kind of food, for not too much food. The same with information. The same information. This food for mindset. It's the same. You cannot eat without.
Exactly. Yes.
The same.
That brings my really last but really important point that I want to add, that it's amazing that you also notice that, and that's what you and so many successful people have in common, when they realize that just gathering information would do actually even more harm than good, because like you said, you need to do the information detox. Because for me, it was also the big goal for this year is to actually consume less information, but more action. Because as we very curious people about the things, how to do things better, we buy lots of books. I have lots of emails, websites, and people writing to me with something new and that is happening, but only consuming it and only getting information, you just don't know, your brain doesn't know what to do with it, and then you need a rest, and then you feel very tired, because your brain is not able to differentiate and select what's important, what's not important, and this is I think time to input and then output. That's how I can express it. When you actually fill yourself with information that you need. And now I think my goal for this year would be to actually make more actual steps towards something. And as if in this step I need specific information how to do it, then I go and get the information. Not the other way around. Not getting the information and then thinking how to use it. Just being more practical and more specific with that.
Absolutely, absolutely, Anya. And in the most in a lot of situations, we have answers inside.
Yeah.
Just sit down and receive the answer.
Exactly.
And you mentioned You mentioned that sometimes you have to detox.
Yeah.
And like information and diet. And a lot of people, a lot of religions said that sit down, don't say, don't read, don't do anything. It's very, very, very powerful. Most people cannot sit with themselves. I just sometimes I see that they are afraid to be with themselves.
Yeah.
They turn on TV, they turn on radio. They're afraid to be in silence with themselves. And it's very important sometimes to be with, and when you feel very comfortable, very confident with yourself, that's very good.
Absolutely.
If you feel not comfortable, just practice this. You will have more confidence. You will feel more comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
With yourself, that's the most important partner you ever have.
Absolutely, yes.
You live all the time. You sleep all the time with yourself. You eat. It's good to be comfortable, to be friends with
Yeah, I
yourself.
think that's the only way. And this is so amazing to talk to you about this because, I mean, you know that you completely understand, you live this way. And I think we'll talk more about this later, about the in-depth. And now, as I look at my planner, I'm having something very important, work-related, in about 3 minutes from now, actually 2 minutes. So it was absolutely great to talk to you today, like back to English and back to the ideas. Very inspiring. Thanks a lot. And I think we'll continue to do our mini interviews, which will be so good, so beneficial. And we'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you so much, Pasha. Need to leave soon.
Thank you. Anya, thank you very much for your passion, for your support, for your kindness
Thank you.
To help me with my thoughts, my English, everything.
Mutual.
Because I've read 3 books, but they were in Russian, so I should learn and practice English more. But thank you very much for your wisdom, for your support, for your recommendations and ideas. That's amazing. It's always great to talk with you and to learn from you.
Thank you, Pasha. We'll watch this interview again. I think it's also good to reflect and go back. Great evening, and talk to you again really soon. All the very best, Pasha. Bye bye for now. See you again later. Bye bye. Thank you.